lots of pages, but we're doing the last part, and it's very interesting. So we're just after the part where actually the exercise is being mentioned. This is about your defenses. Like all your defenses have been aimed at not receiving what you will receive today. And this is what I just said. It's like your defenses have given you the life that you know, like all your defenses have kept you in your identity as a limited human being identity, so to speak. But now, today, all your defenses have been aimed at not receiving what you will receive today. And in the light and joy of simple truth, you will but wonder why you ever thought that you must be defended from release. Heaven asks nothing. It is hell that makes extravagant demands for sacrifice. You give up nothing in these times today when undefended you present yourself to your Creator as you really are. So that's the first step. So all your defenses have been aimed at not receiving what you will receive today. And it's like, okay, so what I've been doing so far is defending myself in my limited identity, thinking that that really would give me something. And I accepted that as all that was me. So now we go beyond that by dropping our sword, by letting go of our defenses, and in the light and joy of simple truth, you but wonder why you ever thought that you must be defended from release. Like, why did you put up your defenses? Why did I do that in the first place? Heaven asks nothing. It is hell that makes extravagant demands for sacrifice. Well, you probably have some examples running through your system now when you hear this. It is hell that makes extravagant demands for sacrifice. Can you come up with an example? And I need your active participation if you want. Personally responsible for everything. That's a great one too. Oh, for everything, feeling personal responsible for everything. I'll go to the chat and see if there's something. Positioning myself as powerless. Wow, I like that one too. Positioning. Oops. Positioning myself as powerless. Nice. Well, nice. Nice discovery. Trying to be someone I'm not, where my thoughts go that don't feel good, where my thoughts go that doesn't feel good. Yeah. Well, this is quite a bit. Feeling ashamed for my emotions, That's a nice one too. Feeling ashamed for emotions in general. All right, we're almost there. Great. Doing without asking Spirit for guidance. Yeah, that's a great discovery too. Oh, this is a very valuable board. It's like so great to discover what you don't have to do. I love that. I love that. Thank you. Thank you so much. This is great. All right, I'll continue with the reading because that will be the next part. So that was just the first paragraph. Hell makes extravagant demands for your sacrifice. Well, see what you did, you know. So it's like, oh yeah, this thing with cigarettes, for instance, smoking. You don't feel well, but you keep on doing it just out of a habit or out of the addiction, knowing that's not really bringing you to life at all, but it just, it's like, wow, that was an extravagant demand too. But being ashamed for your emotions, being ashamed for your emotions and all that too, that's huge too. In fact, you don't allow yourself to be yourself. I know that one really well too. It's like, oh my God, yes, I've been there too. I not allowing myself to feel what I actually feel and trusting that, especially that part. It's like trusting what I feel, seeing that that is totally all right because I feel it. That's why it's okay. Yeah, so that is great stuff. And then the other thing that was mentioned too was this is not following guidance, like not asking Spirit what to do. And that has become a very, that was an old habit, but that changed luckily. You can ask for help and you can start doing that today and you will get an answer. It's like, that's unnecessary. You don't have to get yourself into impossible detours anymore. So I think that's an extravagant demand of yourself too. It's like you sacrifice, in fact, your sanity in order to be human, to do things that you think are the best for you while you cannot overview at all. You have no overview, you have no idea. But you don't admit that. You make that sacrifice. So there was much more. Okay, so you give up nothing in these times today when undefended you present yourself to your Creator as you really are. And so that is making it very personal to you. It's like you present yourself undefended to your Creator. This is what we practice in the moments of quiet, in listening, but it is so crucial to see that this is your relationship with God. It's your relationship, not anyone else's. It's your personal, individual experience of the singularity of you. He has remembered you. Today we will remember Him. For this is Easter time in your salvation. And you rise again from that seeming death and hopelessness. Wow, that's an interesting word too, hopelessness. Now is the light of hope reborn in you. For now you come without defense to learn the part for you within the plan of God. I'm going to repeat this last sentences. So He has remembered you. Today we will remember Him. For this is Easter time in your salvation. So today we will remember Him. And this is in fact like how simple it is if that occurs as an actual experience for you, not for anyone else, for you, you know that your salvation is right here in you and not anywhere else. You only need that for a split second, a remembrance, a moment, like an holy instant, as is said in the Course, it's like a holy instant. A moment in which you feel your connectedness with your Creator. That's how simple salvation is. Then I wouldn't have to tell you anything, or nobody needed to tell you anything. You would be suffice, like it would be sufficient to just feel that for just a millisecond. That's how simple salvation is. For this is Easter time in your salvation. So, and this is like today really is the perfect day for that to happen. We will remember him. Like you have the security, you have the confidence and the certainty. Even that is given you. You don't have to come up with that yourself. Today we will remember him, for this is Easter time in your salvation. And you rise again from what was seeming death and hopelessness. Remember those feelings of death and hopelessness? Like, oh my God, how am I supposed to do this? I have no idea. I really don't know this time. I don't know. So today we will remember him, for this is Easter time in your salvation. And you rise again from what was seeming death and hopelessness. Now is the light of hope reborn in you. For now you come without defense to learn, so you allow yourself to be very vulnerable to your Creator. In your moment together with your Creator, you allow yourself to be so defenseless, so vulnerable, so like, okay, yeah, come with completely open hands to your Father, to learn the part for you within the plan of God. What little plans or magical beliefs can still have value when you have received your function from the voice of God Himself? So try not to shape this day as you believe would benefit you most. So whether this is your day off, or whether this is your day you go to work, or whether this is your day that you, I don't know, what you have to do, try not to shape this day as you believe would benefit you most. Hand it over. It's like, be defenseless. Allow yourself to be vulnerable in that, and not, say, taking charge of your own day. Let it come to you. Try not to shape this day as you believe would benefit you most. For you cannot conceive of all the happiness that comes to you without your planning. Learn today, and all the world will take this giant stride and celebrate your Easter time with you. Throughout the day, as foolish little things appear to raise defensiveness in you and tempt you to engage in weaving plans, remind yourself this is a special day for learning, and acknowledge it with this. So this is our very practical Easter prayer for today. Throughout the day, as foolish little things appear to raise defensiveness in you and attempt you to engage. So this, if you think that there's a situation now that that you need suddenly to pick up your sword and start to defending yourself because you feel attacked. Just wait a moment. Just wait a moment. You're confused. Like, no, you're not attacked. Wait. Don't pick up that sword. Just leave it there. Don't do anything with it. Just stay right there. Attempt to, and suddenly you're like, well, if this is happening, then I have to do that, and I have to do this, and I have to do that, and that will have that consequence, and before you know it, I'm weaving a plan. But before you do that today, stop. Don't make that. Don't do that. Remind yourself this is a special day for learning, and acknowledge it with this, our Easter prayer for today. This is Easter time, and I would keep it holy. I will not defend myself, because the Son of God needs no defense against the truth of his reality. This is Easter time, and I would keep it holy. I will not defend myself, because the Son of God needs no defense against the truth of his reality. And that is all. Like, that's the prayer you can put in your pocket today and read it now and then. So the part that happens is, do these things away. So the part that happens is that you think there's a situation, a sudden shift, suddenly everything is changing again. You think that you need to intervene, that you need to do something, which is true, but not what you think you should do, and that is different. So it's like you want a future different from your past, just as we read in the first miracle prayer. You want a future different from your past. You don't want to keep, running around in your hamster wheel of habits and addictions and patterns and all this that keep you in a limited frame of reference, where you know it so well, and it is not interesting to you. You know you want to get out, and this is the day to let that occur. And in fact, the key is given. Like, don't pick up your sword. Don't do it. Stay right here. Relax into it. Like, wait a minute before you do anything. Don't make a plan to save yourself, or don't make a plan to fix the situation. Don't make a plan to set yourself up so that your future will be better. It won't be that way. So you want a future different from the past. So you cannot project your own ideas into the future any longer. And so in the rest, in taking time to let that occur, to stay with your peace, literally, that can happen. But that's the only way. But it's also the simplest way. There's no sacrifice being asked of you, and there's no confusion about levels that you appear to be in. It's like, well, this world is demanding so much of me. Like, no, the world is not doing anything that you don't want it to do. So it's like you bring that back to yourself. This is just your relationship with your Creator. That is all that is occurring. That's going to be your center or your axis today. It's like your core experience of yourself today. And nothing else can intervene, in fact. Nothing else can distract you from that in reality. So you want that experience for yourself. And that's why we use this prayer. It's like, let me not be tempted to get off this place that I find myself in right now. Like, putting down my sword, allowing myself to be completely vulnerable, of defenselessness, full of defenselessness, having no defenses against my Creator. So I was like opening up for a direct experience of my, say, Christhood, my to keep it simple. It's like my relationship with God, my direct experience of God, feeling the joy and the grace running through me for just a moment, and reminding myself that that's a real possibility, that I don't need to walk away from that in order to save myself in a world that suddenly starts screaming at me or doing whatever it does. So that is so different. In fact, that is the Easter message. It's like nothing has any influence on you in the first place. So you might as well wake up out of that idea that there's a sacrifice asked of you, that you need to make your own plan or defend yourself. So like that is really what Easter is. Like you let that go. You don't do it that way any longer. You stop with engaging in that. But see, it is always there's always different ways to look at this. So it's more like you start to focus, instead of not doing this, it's like you start to focus on your inner world, your inner relationship with your Creator. Like coming to this direct experience, you feel the embrace, you feel the connectedness, you see that hopelessness dissolves. It is just not doing the other things suddenly creates a space in your consciousness for the light to come in. And that's just simply the way that goes. There's just no other way to do that. Otherwise you would have found it, you would have done it. So that's a bit of the idea that I love to convey today. It's like this is really a beautiful Easter prayer. You can take it with you. It's like you put it in your pocket. It's like, oh yeah, wait a minute, it's only about my relationship. So do I need to engage them with anyone in that sense? No, not necessarily. You will be shown if that happens, okay, but it's more like if you stay with your relationship, with yourself, in the recognition of your communication, everything else will flow from there. Then it becomes so clear what to do. And this is what we offer, of course, all the time. It's like this is really what you need to remember, that is an option, and that in fact that is your only option. The rest is asking extravagant sacrifices and is exhausting and is poisoning yourself. It is numbing yourself. It is all these other things that you do as a human being. And this has nothing to do with that. This is just the pure innocence of your recognition of who you truly are. It's like this is your innocence you get in touch with. And let that dance your day. That is the beauty of that. And that is easy if you stay right there. It is difficult if you try to combine like a little bit of God and a little bit of myself. Like, oh, well, a little sacrifice, it's all right. They're like, no, when you do that, it's like your remembrance is gone. That's how this works. It's like one exception held apart from true perception makes its accomplishments anywhere impossible. That's literally from the Course in Miracles. Like that happens immediately. So one exception held apart from it, you think, okay, well, this is all right. Like, wait a minute. No, keep it simple to yourself. Stay right here. You don't have to make a sacrifice. You don't have to do that. And of course I'm talking a bit of in an abstract way about it. But say the examples will come your way today or tomorrow. Like they will come to you in which you can practice this. So I love to hear about that, how that goes. Because it makes everything so much easier. It makes, say, in fact, it's the only possibility for you to keep peace of mind. So talking about giving up sacrifice, or whatever idea you can hold about it. This is 322. I can give up, but what was never real. I sacrifice illusions, nothing more, And as illusions go, I find the gifts illusions try to hide, awaiting me in shining welcome, and in readiness to give God's ancient message to me. His memory abides in every gift that I receive of Him. See, this is your relationship with your Creator, not anything else. I find the gifts illusions try to hide, awaiting me in the shining welcome, and in readiness to give God's ancient messages to me. His memory abides in every gift that I receive of Him, and every dream serves only to conceal the self which is God's only Son, the likeness of Himself, the Holy One who still abides in Him forever, as He still abides in me. Father, to you all sacrifice remains forever inconceivable. And so I cannot sacrifice except in dreams. As you created me, I can give up nothing you gave me. What you did not give has no reality. What loss can I anticipate except the loss of fear and the return of love into my mind? I'll repeat that once more. Father, to you all sacrifice remains forever inconceivable, and so I cannot sacrifice except in dreams. As you created me, I can give up nothing you gave me, and what you did not give has no reality. What loss can I anticipate except the loss of fear and the return of love into my mind? I can give up, but what was never real. All right. Well, thank you so much for this same moment together in which we remember this. You know, that's so beautiful. That's so great. So I'm playing a song just for now. Thank you so much.